Yo, what is the deal, everybody? What is the deal? I'm sorry I have left you guys without content. Sorry I left you guys without content, man. Lot going on. Shout out to everybody in the nation. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Listen, there's less than 100 in the room. I've never, ever had a live with less than 100 in the room. So I do not cook until there's over 100 in the room. Share this thing out to all social media. Share this thing out to all social media. What is the deal, everybody? Now, listen, I'm going to tell you guys something right now. I'm going to start this live off before I start talking about the Raiders. Two things. I don't want to hear a goddamn thing about the Knicks. If I hear anything about the Knicks, I am going to unceremoniously block you. That goes for guys like Cisneros. That goes for Bodega Wasted. It goes for all of you. If I hear one thing about the Knicks, I am blocking you. The F up out of here. I broke the remote to my television yesterday. I was so pissed about the Knicks. Now, we're over 100. Get wasted with your brother wasted. I'm telling you right now, don't you even start. Shout out to my brother Violator. Shout out to Unc, man. Appreciate you for pulling up, man. Anthony will be getting blocked. Robert Cisneros will be getting blocked. I'm telling you right now, I don't want to hear it. It's not funny. I am pissed off. I haven't been that mad about, bro. Look, man, I'm telling you, I was fit to be tied last night. I ain't been that mad about something in a long time. A long time. Telling you right now, if you start, you're about to be unceremoniously blocked. Yes. Yes, Lord. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend, y'all. Yo, we got to get into OTAs. Yesterday it was a lot going on. I didn't really get a chance to talk about the Christian Wilkins situation, which is becoming something that is a thing. You know, anytime that there's a big man with the foot injury, it's not the greatest thing in the world. It's not the end of the world. I like what Pete Carroll said. We're going to get into that a little bit. We picked up another player. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I like some of the things I'm hearing out of practice. We're going to get into all of that. But salute to the family. Salute to the chat. And yo, salute to my guy, Cane Town Raider, man. Salute to Cane Town Raider with the first super of the day. Appreciate you. Introducing the undefeated, undisputed king of showers. The old-ass beast from the East, older than the Knicks' last NBA title, Mr. Biff Malibu himself, wasted talent. Cane Town Raider, listen, F you and the host you rode in on. And Cane Town, only you and my closest friends know that I have a compulsion about taking showers. I take at least 3 showers a day. Yes, I do. And I don't give a shit. Who knows it? Yes, and if I don't take a shower before my live, it's not a good live. Anytime you see me do a live and it's not a good live, it's because I didn't have a chance to shower up. Yes. Yo, shout out to my guy, Classic Man Q. Let's go Pacers. Get the F up out of here, yo. So look, man. Guys, let's get into it. Let's get into it, man. They said wasted water. Let's get into it. Now, guys, you know, this Christian Wilkins thing is you know, listen, I tell a lot of people, man, it's a thing, yo. It is a thing. It is not something that we can take lightly. It is not something that, people are imagining. This Christian Wilkins thing is a thing, man. It is definitely a thing. And it's a situation where you have a big man with a Jones fracture. Now, look, I want to get into a little bit of what a Jones fracture is, what the times table normally is, and why we are where we are. You know what I'm saying? Why we are where we are. But let's get into it. Hold on. We got to get into it. Now, Christian Wilkins is, looking to be out. And he's, probably all of OTAs. You know what I mean? And OTAs, listen, when you start talking about OTAs, Christian Wilkins is there. He's working with the team. That's a good sign. And OTAs are not a humongous deal. OTAs are a time where, especially when we're in the third phase of OTAs, right? So, the third phase of OTAs is where the offense and the defense without pads on can go against each other, right? They go do drills. But OTAs is more of a situation where you're kind of setting the tone, setting the table, getting the culture right, things like that, right? So it's not the end of the world that Christian Wilkins is not out there on the field with, the team. But the issue, as I see it, is the timetable for a Jones fracture normally is a lot less than what has been taken for Christian Wilkins to get back on the team. So what is shown me is at the end of the season, Christian Wilkins was in a walking boot. He played 5 weeks for the Raiders. He got out of that walking boot. It was supposed to be to where he should be back on track about this time, but it appears that he's had a setback, and he is unlikely to be cleared to be out there before training camp. And this was posted on Pro Football Rumors. Shout out to Pro Football Rumors. But he was limited, last season. And now his left foot has been out of the walking boot since the procedure. And it was noted by Vic Tafur of The Athletic that, the big ticket free agent edition of 2024 was mentioned last month as a candidate to miss time. So this is not something that is new. You know what I mean? And during, the coming season, he could miss some time going into the season. It's been a very difficult recovery, Pete Carroll said, when he was speaking to, Vic Tafur, and he was speaking to, Q and them when they were interviewing him at training, at OTAs, man. He said he's done everything he's needed to do. He's been here every day, and we're in the midst of a long, challenging process. Fortunately, there's a lot of time. Now, this is the thing, man. April's update kind of suggests that there was a second procedure that took place. Vinny B said that Wilkins was dealing with a setback. The screw was inserted into the 29-year-old's foot, and it may have broken, or Wilkins may have refractured the bone to which he was initially injured. Now, the latter scenario was rare, but either case, Vinny B adds that return to full health should not be expected until August. Now, that timeline will leave the former Dolphin out the remainder of OTAs and minicamp through the start of training camp in July. And Wilkins will be back 100%, man, maybe sometimes in the middle of the season, right? His absence will be felt on his Raider roster. And as you guys see, some people were pissed that we didn't take Mason Graham. I'm okay with it. I think that I'd walk away to Ashton Jeanty first. But the thing is this: the Raiders do have, young players on the roster. You do have an Adam Butler on the roster who played well without Christian Wilkins last year. We do have a Malcolm Kuntz coming back to full strength. We do have a Max Crosby coming back to full strength. There is depth on this defensive line, right? But Christian Wilkins is a major, major part of this football team. He is a major part of this football team and is worrisome. Anytime you have a situation with a big man with a foot injury, you have problems. Now, listen, Adam Butler played well last year, but listen, if you look what the Raiders did, they doubled down on defensive tackle with Tonka Hemingway and J.J. Pegas. And look, J.J. Pegas is a guy, man, that is super athletic, could possibly be a star in this league, man. He plays on the offensive side of the ball, a tweener, a plus athlete. His rare athletic score is through the roof. So, I love the kid. We got over 200 in the room. Get wasted with your brother Wasted. tell a friend to tell a friend. But look, the thing for me is this, right? Having him out at OTAs just to make our fan base, at ease is not something I'm interested in. I am more interested in a guy that has been a Pro Bowl player, been a top of the crust player at the top of the league. I am more interested in him being right for the season when it actually matters. So Christian Wilkins, take as much time as you can get. I love the fact that he's around the organization. I love the fact that he's getting to know his coaches. I love the fact he's around his teammates and he's soaking up all of the game. And when he's ready to roll, he's going to be ready to roll. Look, we got some young, talented guys like Jonah Lalu. That kid is a monster. So maybe this would be a chance to develop some of the young guys behind him. So when he does come back, we have a unit that is unstoppable. Shout out to my guy, DeMarcus Webb, being a member of the channel for 18 months. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Oh, my God. Guys, we've been away, man. We've been away, man. We've been away. We have been away. My God. Chris Mitchell. Maybe we can get a vet D tackle. Who's out there, wasted? Maybe Sutan. Maybe he can hold down for a few weeks till Wilkins gets right. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to see the Raiders make that kind of a move. The Raiders got too many young guys on his roster that are chomping at the bit. We got to get out of the mindset of thinking that the answers to this roster is outside of the building. The answers to this roster, I believe, is right here on the roster. We don't need to go outside the building especially with the defensive line. We don't. Player development, guys. No need to get a vet. No need to get a vet. Player development. Have faith in your training staff. Have faith in the work that Christian Wilkins is putting in. Have faith in the young guys you drafted this year. Have faith in Adam Butler. Have faith in some of the UDFAs, man. Develop these players. This is what we need to be doing here. Dan 78 makes sense why Spy Text was flirting with Avia. I mean, bro, even with Christian Wilkins, you would be a fool to not flirt with the idea of bringing a player at the level of a Vita. So whether Christian Wilkins will here or not, Vita is a guy that improves any roster. So I don't necessarily think it has everything to do with Christian Wilkins. I think, if he could have got a Vita, would Adam Butler be here? Who knows? But look, man, it's the next man up kind of thing. These young guys have all the opportunity in the world to be great, and I'm with it. Guys like Tonka Hemingway, man. Tonka Hemingway's a beast. Let him get out there, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. My guy Rorschach is in a place to be, man. Joe C, what it is. The F is going on. Yo, my dog Thor is in a place. Thor, what the F is going on up in here, man? Shout out to all of y'all, man. My guys, man. Yo, I appreciate, the core Wasted Talent Army is really, really, want to thank all of y'all, man. You guys have been excellent, man. Excellent. And everyone else, man, the Anthonys are about to be, telling you right now, are about to be unceremoniously blocked. It's right. Hey, guys, how am I sounding out there, y'all? How am I sounding out there? How are we sounding? How is the soundboard sounding, guys? CGR, listen, I'm telling you right now, CGR, you about to get your wrench taken away. You better stop putting up those damn eggplants. What the F is wrong with you? It's a family show. It is 3:30 in the afternoon and on the West Coast. It is 6:30 on the East Coast. And you are now rocking with the best, the beast of the East. You got to stop that nonsense. Effing Bodega Wasted with his crap. My guy Mike Smith in a place to be goes, hey, Wasted, how you feel about Chip telling Jeanty to change his snap pre-stand? Bro, we will get into that. Hold the phone, my brother. Hold the phone. Now, some other, news and notes out of OTAs, man. Thayer Munford was another guy Wednesday who was present but didn't participate. The nature of his injury has not been disclosed. So Thayer Munford is a guy that already, has to really make up a lot of ground. I think there's been a lot of competition brought in for his position. Thayer Munford is a guy right now, man. He got to get healthy as possible and get out there and get as many mental reps as possible, man. He got to get healthy as possible and get out there and get as many reps as possible, man. He got to get healthy as possible and get out there and get as many reps as possible, man. He got to get healthy as possible and get out there and get as many reps as possible, man. He got to get healthy as possible and get out there and get as many reps as possible, man. He got to get healthy as possible and get out there and get as many reps as possible, man. He got to get healthy as possible and get out there and get as many reps as possible, man. He got to get healthy as possible and get out there and get as many reps as possible, man. He got to get healthy as possible and get out there and get as many reps as possible, man. He got to get healthy as possible and get out there and get as many reps as possible, man. He got to get healthy as possible and get out there and get as many reps as possible, man. He got to get healthy as possible and get out there and get as many reps as possible, man. He got to get healthy as possible and get out there and get as many reps as possible, And yesterday, on the first play of 11-11 team drills, safety Jeremy Chin jumped the route over the middle and picked off quarterback Geno Smith. A few plays later, Dante Thornton beat Chin on a corner route, and Smith found him in the end zone for a touchdown. While Smith, got some payback from early on, it ended up being a bumpy ride for him for the starting quarterback. He threw a couple of picks in OTAs, but this is where you learn. No big deal, right? Our guy, and a guy that I think is probably going to be the green dot, Tommy Eichenberg got a pick too. Man, the ghost of draft past, Chris Smith got a pick too, man. Jumped the route. Pete Carroll has been impressed by how quickly the back seven of his defense is developing the strong chemistry. The secondary is really rounded into shape. I mean, that's kind of been a hallmark of Pete Carroll. Man. And I hope that that's something that continues, right? When you look at this AFC West, Pete Carroll is a guy that, to me, if you talk about resume, he is only second to Andy Reid. I would be under the estimation, man, that to me, we have the second best coach in the division. Like, that's how I view it, man. Jim Harbaugh he's a terrific coach. Sean Payton is a terrific coach. But if I'm being honest, Pete Carroll has done this in several different stops. He's won a Super Bowl and a national title. And I'm going to be real with you, man. Pete Carroll, man, is a guy that's been doing it a long time. I will put Pete Carroll and his football acumen and the way he goes about things against anyone in football. I'm telling you right now, man. So let's go. Let's continue to go over some of the stuff that happened in OTAs, man. Despite the offensive struggles yesterday on Wednesday, Trey Tucker made the most impressive catch of the day, man, on either side of the ball, man. He beat his matchup on a deep route over the top and, got open. Chris Smith had to step backwards to buy some extra time. And, Geno Smith flung the pass down the field before the pressure got home. A little too far out in front of Tucker, but Tucker laid out and made the catch, dragged both feet in bound for a touchdown, man. Tucker is out there. He's viable. He feels the fire from Jack Betch. He feels the fire from Dante Thornton. Trey Tucker will not go into that dark good night. This guy is competing for his spot out there, man. Tucker started most of last season, man. But, if I'm being honest, he's one guy, and we're going to get into that. We're going to get into 4 players whose roster spots could be in jeopardy, man. His spot could be in jeopardy because I'm telling you right now, Jack Betch, if he keeps making plays and some of the stuff I've seen on tape, I haven't been out there. I would like to get out there. But, man, let me tell you something. The stuff that I'm seeing, that kid is looking like he's going to be wide receiver number 2, man. He's looking that way. Yesterday, also, Tommy Millott had got significant action at slot receiver. This is a guy that is our Julian Edelman 2.0. It's crazy that they took Tommy Millott because, this would seem like something that Josh McDaniels probably would have done, right? But he's another guy, man, that's a terrific athlete. And, it looks like whatever scouts we had in the building were really locked in on that game between him and Cam Miller, man. Because, Tommy Millott was out there balling. Rookie cornerback Darian Porter got a lot of reps with the first team. That's something we need to look out for. He didn't make any plays, but he was consistently able to stick with his matchups most of practice, and that's job one, right? So this is a guy whose rare athletic scale is off the charts, man. Off the freaking charts, man. If this kid can round into anything substantial, we are in for a treat when it comes to Darian Porter, man. So as far as the offensive line, there's an ongoing competition at left guard. We all know that Colton Miller is our left tackle. Jackson Powers-Johnson is our center. And Alex Kappa right now is our right guard. DJ Glaze seems to be locked in for a starting spot. But Dylan Parham and Jordan Merritt keep rotating in at left guard throughout practice. I think Alex Kappa is another guy you got to put a pin in because I don't think even if the Raiders go into our season with Alex Kappa starting, I think that somewhere around the middle of the season, if he, and listen, maybe Alex Kappa can have a resurgence, but Alex Kappa is a guy that is probably the Cody Whitehair of this year, right? So, I think he's a placeholder for right now. So I think both guard positions could possibly be up for grabs, especially based off of how they do in training camp, how they do in joint practices, and how they do really in the sense of preseason. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. My guy Alpha Omega, man. What up, Beast? What is the deal, Alpha? Alpha, what is the deal, man? Daniel Caps Keener. Christian Wilkins, 84.75 million, 246 snaps. That is 344. Wait. How much? 3 million? What, 3 million a snap? You trying to say? No, wait. 344,000 a snap so far. Jeez. Jesus, man. Well, look, man, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It is what it is, man. From my eyes through YouTube's OTA, Geno got some velocity on his passes, especially next to Aiden. Anything on that? I mean, yeah, man. I mean, listen, let me be honest with you, bro. Geno Smith can, if he can do nothing else, he can fling that damn ball. If Geno Smith throws one of the prettiest balls in the league, and pause if necessary. Pause if necessary. Pause if necessary. I really don't give a damn. You can pause. You can say whatever the F you want. F and Anthony's up in a place to be. Is Anthony in a place to be, guys? He's always in a place to be. Just ruining the damn show. Sick of Anthony and his crap. Freaking Anthony.
Glizzy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right. That is right. Damn Glizzy. Yo, my guy Jack Burton, yo, wasted playing field in this bid. How much longer do our Raiders have to deal with Tyree Wilson project? It is killing me at this point. I don't know why, bro. I don't know why Tyree Wilson will be killing. You got to give the guy a chance, right? Like look, you guys know, Jack, I went ballistic when we drafted Tyree Wilson because I wanted Jalen Carter. We see that Jalen Carter has helped lead his defense to a Super Bowl and has a ring already, right? So let's put that in let's put a pin in that. That is another guy that the Raiders have missed on. We probably got a laundry list of players the Raiders probably should have drafted that have gone on the greater pastures, right? But the thing is this, right? We have Tyree Wilson's bird rights, and we have the option to have a fifth-year option on a Tyree Wilson. He is a guy that is a physically imposing player. And he's a guy that, the Raiders need to do everything they can to develop this guy. Because what I don't want to happen for the Raiders is for them to be the ones to give up that level of draft compensation for a guy that doesn't work, that leaves this building and becomes something else. This is not what I want, right? So just continue to work with the kid. What do you got to lose? Joe C, my guy, what's your thoughts on Laki Tasi? Get a look on the offensive side and the offensive line. Nah, bro. I don't know. I haven't seen much of the kid. I know he looks damn imposing. I'll tell you that, bro. Damn imposing. Yo, my guy, Dave Zahn. Come on, Wasted. Don't bring him up. I need a beer now. Zahn, you always need a beer, Zahn. The F are you talking about? We know you got to get a beer. Oh, man, Dave Zahn in a place to be. New Jersey's very own, bro. New Jersey's very own. Shout out to the great and powerful David Zahn. Anytime David Zahn comes in a place, we got to hit him with the yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. My man Zahn, man. Shout out to everybody in chat. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You guys know that I am having fun with this new soundboard. Let me ask you guys a question really quickly. We're gonna get back to the Raider talk. Do you guys hear the soundboard? Do you hear the soundboard? Is it loud and clear? Is it working properly? Do you guys hear any of the sounds? We got almost 400 in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Yo, he said Tyree Wilson equals Cleve Farrell 2.0. If you don't get it, listen, bro. All right, look, guys, we're gonna try one. It's very faint. What the F is going on here? So you guys don't. So y'all must only be hearing the. What about? You're about to be unceremoniously blocked. How's it sound? Shout out to y'all. Y'all hear the mouse moving? It's faint. Ah, man. Go said, no, it's soft. That's what she said. Bang zoom. Bang zoom. Y'all heard that one? Yeah, man. But no. They said it sounds Mac Bush. Yo, Bodega Wasted. Who the F are you? About to get blocked. Yeah, I gotta figure it out. I'll figure it out, guys. I will figure it out. But guys, let's get back. Let's get back to it, man. Piano Man says, why not us? Why not the Chargers? Yo, Piano Man, let me ask you a question, man. What the F are you doing here, bro? Look, I know you want to talk about ball, right? But what are you doing here, bro? What are you doing here, bro?
Shut your lame ass up, nigga.
What are you doing in here? You are a Charger fan. The F is wrong with you. That's right. You about to get blocked again, man. But guys, let's get back to it, right? So let's get back to the OTAs, man. Let's get back to the OTAs, man. And then we're gonna get into some other stuff. There, we got that, right? Max Crosby loves the energy. Pete Carroll loves the energy. Said that the defense is looking great. Patrick Graham missed up his coverages. Caught Chip Kelly lacking. There's an ongoing battle of the minds. I love it. I am loving what I'm hearing out of camp, man. Shout out to Tashawn Reed. Tashawn Reed was out there, filling us in on camp, bro. Filling us in. Now, guys, I want to talk about this stuff with Ashton Jeanty, right? I want to talk about that. Now, Chip Kelly says that, in pause of necessary, he wanted him to change his stance because it would help him explode out of his stance better, right? Now, Jeanty is a guy that, to me, is such a unique talent. I feel like telling him not to stand tall, and look, I'm not there in practice, and I don't necessarily know why they don't want him to do that. Like, do they want him to be like, does it leave him more susceptible to not being able to block? Does it tip what they're going to do on offense? But I think that's one of the things that has made Ashton Jeanty unique, right? Instead of him being hunched over, he's like standing up. He's a 5'8" guy. He kind of sees what coverage is going on, and then stands up with his Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees stance, and he does his thing. I just feel like telling him not to stand up is like telling Michael Jordan not to stick his tongue out when he's balling. I mean, I don't know. This is what they're saying. And those were Chip Kelly's pause-worthy words, not mine, Bodega Wasted. Bodega Wasted, this has got to be Anthony. Bodega Wasted has got to be Anthony. I mean, look, I am of the estimation, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's me, right? But I think that Jeanty has to get out there, cook a little bit. If it's something that affects him, they're going to have to let him do what he wants to do. Yeah, Bodega Wasted is 100%. It's Anthony, bro. I know his sense of humor. Listen, that is Anthony. 100% is Anthony. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, bro. It's Anthony, bro. Anthony, y'all laugh. I'm telling you. It's Anthony, y'all. We got over 400 in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Tell a friend, man. My guy Chris Mitchell's in a place, man. It seems like he should keep his stance. Way easier for handoffs. Plus, he sees the whole field and picks his lanes. I don't know. Chip stay crashing out with running backs. I'm sure it will be back by week 3. Now, see, this is the thing, bro. Now, look. that's us from a surface level view, right? But if I'm being real, Chip Kelly, because you hear like Shady McCoy talk about Chip Kelly, right? You hear about Shady talk about Chip Kelly, right? Now let's look at some of the years Chip Kelly was the head coach of the Eagles. Let's look at his resume, right? Now, Chip Kelly was the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles from 2013 to 2015. All right, so let's deal with 2013. 2013, rushing touchdown leaders and rushing leaders in 2013. All right, now rushing touchdown leaders in 2013 was Marshawn Lynch had 16 rushing touchdowns, Jamal Charles, LeGarrette Blount had 11, Eddie Lacy had 11. Oh, remember Eddie Lacy? No Sean Marino, New Jersey's very own. Frank Gore had 10, and LaShawn McCoy had 10 rushing touchdowns. Now, rushing yards for that season. Shady McCoy led the league in rushing, man. He had 1,684 yards, 335 attempts. You know, so I mean, I don't know, right? Like, so let's see where the Eagles were and where Shady was, you know, in 2014. 2014, you know, Marshawn Lynch. Let me see who led the league in rushing. DeMarco Murray led the league in rushing in 2014. DeMarco Murray had 2,000 yards. Marshawn Lynch was second. Justin Forsett was third. Fourth was Le'Veon Bell. Fifth was Eddie Lacy. So we didn't have a Shady McCoy sighting that year. Shady McCoy wasn't on there, right? So I got to go back. I got to remember what exactly happened with the Eagles, right? I know Darren Sproles had some yards that year. I don't know if Shady McCoy was hurt that year. So I'd have to look, you know, what was going on with Shady McCoy that year. And let's look at 2015. 2015, Adrian Peterson led the league in rushing. Doug Martin, Jonathan Stewart, Todd Gurley, Latavius Murray, man, was 6. That's crazy, man. Say the Tay train, man. And you know, DeMarco Murray was on the Philadelphia Eagles. He had 700 yards for the Eagles. So as a team, I want to see where you know where the Eagles were. So the first year, Shady McCoy being shady, he got off. I guess 2015 he wasn't on the team. In 2014, I really don't know what happened. Let me see what happened with Shady McCoy in 2014, right? Because I want to know whether, you know, whether freaking, you know, Chip Kelly is a guy that kind of kills the progress of his players. A lot of players don't like him. A lot of players don't like him, and I'm glad that he's here. You know, some people say that he hasn't had any innovation. I think he was very, very innovative in college. But, you know, if I'm being honest, I'm glad that he's a coordinator and he doesn't have any autonomy over the team like that from a decision-making standpoint, right? So let's look at Shady's career, right? And I know this is a Raider pod. I know some people are going to be like, oh, why are you doing that? But, yo, I'm trying to further enforce home, you know, see what we're dealing with when we're talking about a Chip Kelly, right? So 2013, you know, oh, my 2014, Shady had 1,300 yards. Nah, Shady 8. Shady had 1,300 yards in 2014. And then he was traded to Buffalo in 2015. So the Eagles had a decent rushing attack. Now, was it Shady or was it Chip Kelly? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother Wasted. Yo, my guy, Raider Rash. Hey, Wasted, off target. But reference Jeanty stance made me nervous because of what Shady McCoy said about Chip. I knew it had to be Chip with this BS. Raider Rush, bro, we like, yo, it's crazy, man. Like, I'm trying to figure it out, Raider Rush, I'm trying to figure it out, my brother. I don't know whether it's Chip, whether, you know, Like the way Pete Carroll seems to me, right? If this is an issue for Ashton, I think Pete Carroll would most likely step in. Pete Carroll will most likely step in, and Pete Carroll would most likely say, hey, listen, let the kid do what he need to do. The cool thing about this is that Pete Carroll is the guy that straws the drink in this organization. Pete Carroll, John Spytek gets him the players, but Pete is the guy who runs shit. I think Brady has he has a good relationship with Pete, but what I gather, and we're going to talk about Pete Carroll's interview. I never really spoke about it, but his interview over there, with Brock Heward and all those guys, some of the Saints guys, he had a really, really good interview, very, very informative. I mean, the only thing that I got out of that interview that doesn't seem like is making sense to me, they talked about joint practices, and Pete Carroll said he's not a fan of them, and we won't be doing that with the Raiders. And it seems like there was an announcement, and I don't know how true it is, that the Raiders will be holding joint practices with the 49ers. Now, Pete Carroll said in that press conference and in that interview that they wouldn't be doing joint practices. That's been a kind of a point of contention with Pete Carroll. Like when he was with Seattle, they never did them. He didn't like them. So that is going to be interesting, ladies and gents. My guy Shalib gifted 5 Raider Nation Unlimited memberships to the masses. The Wasted Talent Army has grown in droves. My guy Rusty Nail, in your words, Wasted, inmates can't run the asylum. We've tried that. It failed miserably. The kid has a good attitude about the stance change. He's got a great attitude, and that's great. The thing is this. I'm glad that he's receptive to coaching. And I hope that whatever Chip sees, I hope it bears fruit and it does not mess with his performance. But if I'm being real, there are just certain things that uniquely talented athletes do because it makes them comfortable. And when you start talking about, a player's stance or their approach, that's not the inmate running the asylum. That's the inmate telling you that, this is what I need to give you what you want. Now, if you got a guy that's not coming to practice and trying to change the culture and stuff like that, that's different. It's totally different. This is not what we're dealing with here. Totally different. Ready, Drox, you are about to get blocked the F up out of here. Bro, listen, whoever this dude is, man, I'm telling you right now, you about to have a really serious problem. Raider, look, listen, this is a Raider podcast. We ain't talking about the Knicks right now. Talk about no damn Knicks right now. They better win that series too. The F is wrong with you, man. Coming up here with that.
Angry man, what you doing here? Man, sit your ass down.
Hey, sit your ass down, bro. I want to hear that crap. Talk about no damn Knicks right now. F up out of here, man. Yo, you are Anthony, and Anthony is you. I tell you, it's like the Spider-Man meme up in here. Picture me having a show and Anthony not showing up. Big Mike said, Knicks is 7 from a lifelong Knicks fan. Yeah, that's right. Mike, you ain't no Knicks fan, bro. You're a Laker fan, bro. Get out of here, yo. Wasted, do you feel the pace of OTAs if a team is nicked up? Get the F up. Get the F out, bro. Yo, Boom Cat, you're about to. That's it. That's it. Next Nick Pacer joke, somebody's getting blocked. Somebody is getting blocked. Don't effing mess around with me. Boom Cat. Andrew Gonzalez, I can't imagine Chip will make a change without the okay from Pete Carroll. I mean, I don't think so, bro. Listen, Pete Carroll is a head coach that is firmly in control, but this is just OTAs right now, right? I'm sure that there's sound reasoning for that, and I'm sure that Carroll could be on board. The good thing is that And this is what I love about Pete Carroll, right? He's not one of those coaches that get in his own way. He's not one of those coaches who's not receptive to what the needs and the wants of the players are. He's not one of these Josh McDaniels kind of guys. When you get a guy like Josh McDaniels, that totally ruin a player like Hunter Renfrow. I think that Pete Carroll made him the genius that he is that he listens to his players. So this is the time to try it out. Let's see how it works. Ashton Jeanty, he's quick, he's fast. Whoa, Bodega. This is definitely Anthony. That's it. Bodega wasted. You got to go sit in the corner. You are on timeout. The F is wrong with you, man. Yo, you've been put on timeout. What is wrong with you? With your filth? Go in the corner, Bodega wasted. 10 minutes. My guy, Big Mike, is in the place. What's the name of that clothing store that's kind of like Ross? Halliburton, Burlington Coat Factory. He said Halliburton Coat Factory. I could be right. Yeah, he's a bum, yo. I don't want to talk about the Knicks and Tyrese Halliburton and him wearing some Timbs. I don't know. That joker has some steel-toe Timbs on, bro. It's right. It's crazy, yo. And bro, I'm not a Met fan, bro. I'm a Yankee fan. I just wore a Met hat because I lost the bet to Hammer. Now, guys, let's get on with this. I don't want to talk about this crap, guys, with your nonsense, man. So let me ask you guys a question, man. Are you guys familiar with, are you familiar with the whole situation with our guy, JPJ, man? Are you guys familiar with JPJ going on Max Crosby's Rush podcast? Did you guys hear or see that interview? Great interview, man. Great interview. And the crazy thing is hearing JPJ really, kind of coming to grips with the mistake that he made last year, man. I mean, it was kind of dope to hear, a young player like that kind of taking ownership over that and actually thinking that that's something that is going to really propel him to being a better player this year, man. That JPJ, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Every time I hear that kid talk, the more I hear him talk, the more I like the kid, man. The more I hear that kid talk, the more I like him, man. I really do. I think JPJ is going to be an all-pro at his position, man. You know what I mean? But, Pete Carroll and John Spytek they've built a hell of a roster, man. It's crazy, man. They brought in Laki Tassi, rugby player, mammoth dude, man. Listed at 6 cents. They got him at defensive tackle, 348. The Raiders brought him in, and they talked about him being labeled as a defensive tackle, but they got something else in mind. And this is what I'm hearing, man. The Raiders had him on offense during OTAs, man. They had an open OTA practice session with the media. And when the practice was going on, outside of 3 interceptions with Geno Smith, what was being talked about was Laki Tassi on offense, man. The reporters and writers didn't say what position he was playing, but it feels like there's only a few that are possible. You know what I mean? And it's crazy, man. One obvious is fullback with his rugby background. So Laki Tassi being on the freaking offensive side of the ball is insane, bro. You imagine if you have him and JJ Peckers in the backfield, bro. That would be totally insane, bro. But people are saying, man, they got him over there lining up at fullback too. Maybe as a lead blocker, clearing out gaps. Maybe they might be trying him out as a guard or a tackle. But man, that is a mammoth of a guy, bro. And that is the kind of guy that I love to see coaches tinkering around with to see where he fits the best instead of just throwing him out on the scrap heap, man. Simple as that. You're wasted. People need to let coaches coach. Technique is important, even for a 6 pick. Simple as that. You absolutely right, bro. You are absolutely right, man. Yo, the Packers proposed banning the push tush and the stiff arm. 31-1 vote to keep the stiff arm, but a bunch of pansies in Green Bay. The Packers announced suspended for 2 years for proposing rule changes. Yo, I don't even know if that's true, but they should be. They're a bunch of douchebags. The thing that makes me kind of like weirded out is that the Raiders voted to ban the tush push. I'm like, come on, bro. That's corny as hell, man. Figure out a way to stop it. Why you gonna try to ban it? Whoever voted for that, I don't like that, man. That's weak, man. That's weak sauce. That is weak as hell, man. Yeah, my guy Big Mike Raider, Piano Man, talk about the power muffs or something like that. Yeah, I don't know what the F's going on with this Piano Man crap. Yo, my guy Ghost, does Tommy Eichenberg have the chance to win a Greenbaugh this year? So we brought in some of these first-year linebackers. Yeah. I mean, the guys that I heard Pete Carroll really talking about, you know, and look, I don't know if it's because they're free agents, but, yo, he really, really, you know, was very effusive of the praise of Jeremy Chin, you know, and Landon Roberts. And then Eichenberg's making plays out there. I definitely think, look, the Raiders are not dumb. They brought in some older linebackers like Devin White and Jalen Smith. These are guys that are not making a crap load of money. These are guys that can be put on the scrap heap. These are guys that can be put on the bench at this point in their career. Even though they were highly touted and highly drafted, you know, they've earned nothing for the Raiders. They're brought in to compete just like everyone else. And the Raiders, being a team that is built on the future, it's better if you get any, like when you got two players, right? And you got a young player and you got an older player, and the older player and the young players congruent, you go with the younger, cheaper guy. So Eichenberg would start because he'd be a solution going forward and not just a Band-Aid. Damn right, Bodega Wasted. Now, have you learned your lesson being back from the gulags? Have you learned it? Bodega Wasted, those were not my words. Those were Brock Bowers' words at the press conference. I know, but they were filthy nonetheless, and you get blocked for being Anthony and not admitting that you're Anthony or DeMokes. That's really why you got blocked. Yo, my guy, James Williams, good afternoon, Raider Nation. Sorry I'm late. Was at the gym. Wasted. What happened? Oh, my God. Wow. Don't ask about the damn Knicks. Crap. Oh my God. Shout out to y'all, man. So look, I think it's a toss-up between Elandon Roberts and Tommy Eichenberg to be the Green Dot this year. You know, but what I think you're going to see is you're going to see a lot more linebacker play. I think that's one of the things Pete's going to bring with him. I don't think you're going to see the Raiders in these sub packages, fence post defense with, you know, a bunch of defensive backs getting run all over. Yo, my God, Raider Roshak. It's really a rite of passage to be unceremoniously blocked. What the F is going on here? You damn right. Damn right. Simple as that. Wasted. Off pocket, but on point. 7 O-linemen competed for 3 spots is a great problem I have. Yes, the hell it is. It is, man. Yo, listen, I remember us putting out a skeleton crew at offensive line. I remember us knowing that it was going to be a turnstile. I think this Raider football team did when they took Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant, that was the best thing they could have done. Because these are two guys, man, that you can get something out of this freaking year, man. This year. Beautiful move by the Raiders, man. Hey, James Williams, don't you come here with your crap. This train has been derailed. Guys with y'all crap coming in here. The F is wrong with you guys, man. I think a lot of you guys just pulled up to mess with me about my Knicks. But guys, look. Let me ask you guys a question, right? Somebody asked me, should the Raiders go outside of the building to address the defensive tackle? There's a player that is out there that, you know, I need to ask you guys. I'll ask you guys. He's in the secondary. He wants to be traded. He's on the Miami Dolphins. You guys know who I'm talking about, Jalen Ramsey. Are you guys comfortable? And I know it's very early in the game now, right? But are you guys comfortable going outside of the building to address the cornerback, bro? I personally am under the estimation that the Raiders defensive line is fine. You know, they got a lot of young talent and they can let them cook and develop, right? Because of the fact that you have some veteran guys on that defensive line and you have our best player in our whole team on that in that group, right? But we don't have that same luxury in the secondary. What do you guys think, man? Do you guys think the Raiders need to go outside of the building and address that secondary? I'm just asking you guys. No judgment. No judgment. I'm just asking you. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Y'all let me know, man. Let me know. Jalen Ramsey, let me know. Are you guys willing to pay that freight? Damn, my coffee got cold. It's gross. I mean, to be honest with you, bro, I'm going to give y'all my answer. It would have to be very, very financially and fiscally great for the Raiders to make that move. You know, look, I would be lying to say that he wouldn't be a great step forward, right? It all depends, right? Do you got to pay the freight when it comes to that contract is the question. Because we got a lot of talent on this team, and I don't want to see us have to let great young talent walk out the building because we have guys that are washed up in the building. My guy Cam, evil the most. Cam Miller, MVP incoming. Knicks choke. Lakers in fight. Shut the F up, evil the most. Effing bum. It's an effing bum. Remember, last year, our running back room. How comfortable were we with unproven? That's our cornerback room this year. Dolph, yo, there is a parallel between the two because we were willing to lean on Zamir White. You're absolutely right, bro. I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. Justice Simmons is out there. Would you guys agree with the Raiders going out there? I think we kind of got a log jam at safety, though. That's another position where there's a lot of hungry, young, unproven guys. I would prefer the Raiders to go out there if they were going to go free agency and go and get an established corner. I mean, yo, Ford Dog is not having any of these. No more washed up or washed out dudes on his team. I would not call Jalen Ramsey washed up and or out, but it's a great possibility if you bring him in within the next 2-3 years, he will be. Lord Buddy Bear's in the place. Did Piano Man show back up or did he finally figure out nobody cares about the Chargers? Listen, Piano Man wants to be in proximity to greatness and just allow him. He wants to be in the presence of the great and powerful wasted talent. He wants to be in the presence of the silver and black attack, the great Raiders, the Raiders. He just wants to be a Raider fan. Piano Man knows he's a closet Raider fan. Just come clean, bro. Take the Raider player and move the F on, bro. Oh, guys, Cisco Duarte, man. Imagine Spy Tech cooks up a contract that is 2-year type of deal where he needs to hit certain incentives to pay max. Bro, I kind of think that somebody would have to pay Jalen Ramsey a lot up front because he's already gotten paid. He's got a lot of guaranteed money, and you can't just eat that. Can't just eat that. My God, Lord Buddy Bear. What up, family? What up? Yo, Jalen Ramsey will be another Meangelo Hall. So, yo, do we got Raider PTSD with free agent corners? I mean, dude, like, is this the whole, I don't know, man. Like, is this corner thing something like everything else that happens with the Raiders when we go sign a free agent and just don't work out? Is this like the log jam at quarterback and all this stuff? I mean, is that what's going on? My guy, ain't no way. You right. You damn right, Nation. Pay your bar tabs. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. My guy, Bodega wasted. James Williams is getting away with blaming farts on people in that profile pic. Yes, definitely. James Williams, definitely. He denied it and supplied it. 100%, man. The price is too high. I don't see a way the Raiders make that move financially. I just don't, man. That could, CGR. Bodega wasted could be Jenny too. I got to find out who the F it is. Alpha Omega should have gotten Darius Big Play Slay. I mean, I don't know, man. I think Darius Slay looked better than he really was because of the defensive talent around him. We got a lot of defensive talent, but I think we need somebody that's not long in the tooth like Darius Slay, man, if I'm being honest, man. Little buddy, but I like seeing y'all huddle up on game plan as entertainment. What? Piano Man. What the? Piano Man, what the F is going on? What the F are you doing in here? You're thrown under the bus, Piano Man. Piano Man, you are about to be unceremoniously blocked, man. And this could be Shadow Fox. This could be Shadow Fox from the Shadow Realm. Yo, no more overpaid players past their prime wasted. Come on. I'm asking you guys. I'm not saying to go get them. I'm asking you, do you guys want them? Do you want them? It's not about my opinion right now. Now, when we start talking about dressing the wait, so hold the F on. I didn't do nothing. Just being a happy Charger fan. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Apparently, they were interested in James Bradbury. Is that true? I've heard that. Look, you got to understand, James Bradbury is a guy that has played under, he has played under Patrick Graham with the New York Giants. He had his best year with Patrick Graham. So I can see that. But I think James Bradbury is another guy that's a little bit long in the tooth, man. I like the way ice cream melts in the freezer, a.k.a. Get that. Rorschach, come on with your crap. Leave him alone, man. Leave him alone. Let him see what greatness looks like. So, Antonio Villa, I will go out and sign you. Listen, bro, you're entitled to your opinion. Yo, my guy, additionally, to my last comment, the question is, do we trust the coaching staff this season or not? I trust our coaching staff to get most out of everything one of our guys in the field. I do too. I trust the coaching staff. I'm not going to go and throw the baby out with the bathwater, but I will be honest with you. When you're dealing with athletes that are like unique, you can't try to put them and form them into some glass menagerie. You got to let them be what they are, man. You got to let them be what they are, man. It's just funny, man. I was getting a lot of people talking about the reports from OTAs, right? And they're making such a big deal out of Geno Smith throwing interceptions, right? They have no pads on. They're working together. They're getting to know each other. Listen to me. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill about OTAs. OTAs is not the hugest deal in the world, man. It really is not, man. What about Mike Hilton on the cheap? I can see it. I can see that. But guys, look, man, there's something that we did not get into, right? And then we're gonna, go mosey on out of here, man. We're gonna mosey on out of here, man. Pretty soon. Look, the Raiders made a move. Wait, hold on. You pull this up. My Raiders are active out here, man. Super active out here. Hold on. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Yeah, it's practice, man. Pete Carroll took a lot of homegrown talent and contenders. Trust the process. I do too. Yo, my guy, Lord Buddy, I came across more leprechauns, chupacabras, and Bigfoots than I have Charger fans. Come on, leave this guy alone. Let him have his time, man. Let him have his time watching greatness, man. AC Raider Nation. I think maybe because we're waiting until June 1st to see if the Jalen situation is even viable cap-wise. I mean, because extensions for Colton Miller and Jacoby are still on the table. I'm going to be real with you. I don't know if those extensions come for Colton Miller and Jacoby Myers. I think that they're going to be replaced through attrition. If I'm being honest, they're going to be replaced through attrition. I think that Jack Besh and Charles Grant are two people that are on this roster here to replace both of those players. Nobody can tell me any different. I think they are here strictly for that metric. Strictly for that metric. Strictly for that metric, man. And guys, listen, that is the way you build the roster. Now, yesterday, the Raiders signed linebacker Michael Bennett out of Michigan. You know, Michael Bennett is a young player, man. I don't know a whole lot about the kid. You know what I'm saying? But he's a guy who played for the national champion Michigan Wolverines, Michael Barrett. I don't know. I would be lying to y'all if I told y'all that I knew a whole bunch about the kid. You know what I'm saying? We shuffle some pieces in our linebacker group, so that means that they're still trying to improve on it, right? But they signed Michael Barrett on Wednesday. Wesley Steiner was waived in a corresponding move. Barrett was a 7th-round pick of the Panthers last year, and the former Michigan Wolverine was traded to the Seahawks for cornerback Michael Jackson in late August. He spent time in Seattle's practice squad. He also had stints on the practice squad in Cleveland and Green Bay, and during his rookie season, he was active for the Packers week 18, but did not play. Steiner signed by the Raiders after their rookie mini camp this month. So, you know, this is strictly camp depth. Maybe he can, you know, make the roster. Maybe he can come on here and bring the ruckus, but it is looking strictly like a camp body for me, man. My opinion. ID got 3 picks. Awesome for them. Yeah, but you got a quarterback that's learning the system. You know what I'm saying? You got players that are learning how that quarterback works. And hopefully, you know, Geno Smith, with all of the weapons he has this year and better protection, can kind of cut down on the turnovers. That's the one thing about Geno that I don't like, is that he turned the ball over at a record clip last year, man. He had a damn good year, but I'm going to be honest with you. I do worry about that. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother Wasted, man. Wasted. Why are the Raiders so cheap and not spend on any release good play? Because, bro, it's not about them being cheap. The Raiders are not cheap. The Raiders are smart. Like, bro, when you draft a player, not only can they not leave you unless you want them to, there's a lot of benefits to drafting the people on your roster. Teams that draft their players are the ones who win Super Bowls. Teams that go all out and big in free agency normally tend to fall on their face. I'm glad the Raiders have gotten away from that. I think the Raiders need to pay attention and sign the right free agent. The right free agent, man. The Raiders paid Kuntz $15 million. Not cheap or smart. I mean, $15 million for an edge rusher with 1 year left on his deal, who was looking to be a guy that can compete with Max. You crazy as hell. Defensive ends, quarterbacks, left tackles get paid the most. Just remember that. Roshak, wasted your yawn is contagious. It might be. Yeah, teams that draft players win championships. You look up and down the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'll show you a bunch of people they drafted. Pacheco and all them guys. They drafted these guys, man. I mean, look, I'm going to be honest with you. You say that's not a good deal about, you know, Kuntz. I'll tell you that Max Crosby said that Malcolm Kuntz is the best running mate he's ever had. That speaks volumes because Max Crosby played with Yannick Ngakoue, who's a guy that Max Crosby gives the utmost respect to. So for him to say that Kuntz is the best player he's ever played with, it was crazy to me. I thought for sure it would have been Yannick Ngakoue. My guy, God Family Football for Life. The Chargers signed international player Chupa Verga. Get the F up out of it. Yo, you gotta chill with the bilingual and the multilingual filth. The F is going on, man. You're about to be unceremoniously blocked. The F is wrong with you, man. I mean, for really. The F up out of here with that crap. Max said Kuntz is the only player that shows up to work at the same time as him. That's a great. So you got it on tape, right? You got the measurables from Kuntz. You got the work ethic. You got the situation that he's a cultural fit. Why would you not want to keep your homegrown guy? I think that Malcolm Kuntz deal is phenomenal because if he does take a step back, and has to take a step back, that's the best way to do it. Wait, so you think the 49ers overpaid for a QB? I mean, the market is the market, right? The market's the market. If they don't if I'm the 49ers, I probably would have swung big on a quarterback. I would have swung big on somebody who was startable, and I would have probably let Brock Purdy twist in the wind. As far as, I don't know, man. It's hard to say, man. It's hard to say, man, because if you're talking about what the market is for quarterback, no, they didn't overpay for Brock Purdy. But if you're talking about what you see on film, do you think Brock Purdy is your guy? Yeah, they overpaid. I mean, for me, I'm going to take my personal biases out of it because I like my quarterbacks to be bigger guys and stuff. No, because Brock Purdy has gotten them to the promised land. But what's going to start winding up happening is I think that you're going to get a glimpse behind the curtain. They're going to see that he's the Wizard of Oz. Brock Purdy has had the best of everything when he was with the Niners. He's had the best of everything, and now he doesn't anymore. Now you're paying him like he's a guy that is going to make others better when the roster is what made him better. My guy, Brandon Vandal with the $2 smackaroonie. Is this a make or break? Yes, hell yes, a make or break for Tyree Wilson. I don't think you see Tyree Wilson in silver or black again unless he has at least 7 sacks. Let me be honest with you. And McBurger, I don't feel sorry for the Niners. F them. F the Niners. F every team that look like them. You know what I'm saying? I think it's absolutely disgusting. You're damn right. Have a sympathy for the damn Niners. What's wrong with you? You said we missing Jack Jones right now. No, the hell we not, man. We're gonna be fine. Solid mention. Wait, so what's good? Just rocked up and sort of just rocked up. Ooh, oh, whoa, Solly, you gotta chill, man.
What's the tutorial? This you know what the fuck you doing,
man. You got to chill, Solly. You said you just rocked up, bro. We don't need to know that information right now. Hey, yo, Solomon Mitchell. Pause, God. Chill, God. You are about to be uncertain. Solly, you know you my dog. You gotta chill, Solly. He said rocked up. You gotta chill, and we are not talking about them kind of. We come on, bro. Come on. The F is wrong with you, boy. About to be unceremoniously blocked. The F is wrong with you, but no. So I saw the live. Hope all's well. Red Nation, keep cooking, baby. Appreciate my dog Solomon Mitchell, man. I'm messing with you, Solly. I'm messing with you, man. I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you for always pulling up, yo. I just got my second win. I was getting sleepy. Yo, Bodega, wait, this is definitely Anthony, yo. Anthony, just admit that you're Anthony, bro. Admit it. It's definitely Anthony, bro. Darian Porter, a starter according to Sanjeev. I mean, bro, how the hell do we know at this point? No disrespect to Sanjeev, right? They put him out there with the ones I spoke about that earlier in the live, right? But we don't know who, bro. They haven't gotten through training camp. There's been no preseason games, been none of this stuff. We don't know who the starters are. All of the guys that are not, like, we know Max is a starter. We know JPJ is a starter. We know Ashton is a starter. We do not know that Darian Porter is going to start. And anyone saying that shit sounds crazy. No, Shalib, it's cool, brother. It's cool. I'm just letting you know. Like, no disrespect to Sanjeev. He could project. I got to hear him say it myself because I know how Sanjeev is. He leaves himself room, right? But, yo, to project anybody in that secondary right now is just not accurate at this point. I mean, what do you mean? Darnay Holmes, re-signing Darnay Holmes, but cutting Jack Jones told me everything. No, that tells you that you have a new regime in here, and you have they have their idea of what a Raider looks like. They have their idea of how a Raider acts. They got their idea, and Jack Jones didn't line up with that. And that's a fact, Allegan. Jack Jones was still unsigned. And I don't want to shit all over Jack Jones because he played well here for us at times and other times he didn't. What has Jack Jones done? Let's be for real. He's not Darrelle Revis. Bro, Jack Jones made some spectacular plays for the Raiders. Let's not try to minimize his contribution to the Raiders over the last few years. But, bro, at the end of the day, bro, he's a guy that, you know, I think that the Raiders needed to address moving on from him. You know, his suspect tackling. I mean, it got better towards the end of the year. But, yo, Jack Jones was clearly an AP guy. He was clearly an AP guy. My God, I am Hilltop, man. Wasted. It's Ian Thomas. I locked 3 tight ends, or will he have to fight? I think Ian Thomas got to fight for a spot, bro. I definitely do. I mean, you know it's Brock as mayor, and he's got to fight for a spot, bro. You know, his contributions, and it's a beautiful way to put it, Marty Mayhem. Jack Jones's contributions did not exceed the big mistakes. So, Wasted, you getting the white cements on Saturday? I might get it a fresh pair, bro. Like, you know, I got my white cements, bro. I got a clean pair, right? No creases. You know, I've got 2 pairs. I got an old pair of white cements. An old pair of white cements, yo. Old pair of white cements. But, you know, I'm just saying to myself, bro, like, bro, I got so many sneakers, bro. I don't really need to. I'm going to be real. I really should stop buying sneakers. But I should stop. I should start selling them because I'm like I think I'm going into my unk phase, bro. I think I'm about to get into I'm going to be like Larry David, man. I'm about to stop driving, you know, German whips. I'm about to stop driving, you know, BMWs and Benzes and stuff. I'm about to get me a Prius and start wearing running shoes all the time. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm getting into my unk stage, man. I need to chill on the J's, right? Yo, my guy, God Family Football, starting to GoFundMe to send the Wasted to the next Knick game so he can run out on the court and unceremoniously block the other team's players. I wish. Shout out to you, my dog. Yeah, dog. I definitely got a problem, yo. I definitely have a problem. I got a problem with the kicks, man. I think my wife is gonna throw me and my sneakers out of here. You know what's funny? You know what's funny? I'm about to call my wife. I'm about to call my wife. Hey, babe, I'm on the air, right? So I'm on the air, and my guys in the chat asked me if I'm gonna buy the white cement J's, the cement fours this Saturday, right? What is the one thing that I do not need more of? Yeah, I have them. I got 2 pairs of white cements, right? But babe, do you think that I have a problem with sneakers? Do you think I do? You do? Do you think it's time for me to get into my unk phase, sweetheart?
No, you got to swear. It's just one at a time where you just that's your name to who you are. It's not a full one. That's you can really sneakers.
Yeah, but I'm starting to kind of feel guilty. I'm starting to feel like I am an unk masquerading as a YN. Not in? All right, thank you, babe. Now you know why I'm calling you. Yes, I am. Thank you, sweetheart. My coffee got cold, and I need a cup. Thank you, sweetheart. Appreciate you. Yo, but nah, guys, listen. I'm gonna be real. I that's the one thing I don't need. I got hundreds of pairs of sneakers. I don't need no more sneakers, and I think I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna start like selling shit on GOAT and stuff. I gotta get like to be real. If Big Mike if Big Mike's feet are bigger than mine, if Big Mike feet wasn't bigger than mine, I would give Mike shit because Mike is a sneakerhead too. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta understand some of this shit I've had since they came out. Because my feet haven't grown since I was like a lot of these Jordans and stuff, they came out when I was in high school and stuff like that. I had every freaking pair, yo. Shout out to my guy Shaleen with the $50 holler. He said, it's time for some Air Monarchs. Bro, you will never see me with a pair of them, boy, bro. Never. Not the Air barbecue grillers. Cool, yo. Big G's ready to say, wasted you. Shout out to my guy Shaleen with the $50 bomb, yo. Appreciate you, my dog, for keeping the lights on over here, yo. He goes, wasted, you could not go out. Prius and running shoes, first the Fat Boys break up. Yeah, nah, bro. It ain't happening. They said I'm about to start rocking the Pete Carrolls. Nah, that's never gonna happen, bro. Like that's like my wife said, that's not me, bro. That's not me, but what I do need to do is like real rap. I gotta stop, bro. I got like, bro, how many pairs of Jordans could you buy in a different color? Like how many, bro? Like for real. It's so many sneakers in my house, bro. Like from between me and my daughters and my wife, because I've made my daughters sneakerheads too. It's crazy, yo. DeMarcus Webb, right now. Let's get back to the football though, guys. Who are my starting corners? I mean, if I'm a betting man, sight unseen, because I would just be shooting, just right off the top of my dome, right? And pause if necessary. It would be Jacorian Bennett and it would be Decameron Richardson because, and Darian Porter would kind of platooning with Decam because I think it's a youth movement. I think there's a certain archetype that Pete Carroll likes as far as how his corners are and how they play. Right. And I think possibly you might have a situation where one of the free agents, it's like Stokes. So really listen, and let me go back. I think it would probably be Stokes and Jacorian and Decam. Stokes, Jacorian, and Decam with Darian Porter starting to come on at the end of the season and starting to win that starting position in the middle. But right off the bat, I think it's Stokes. I think it's Jacorian Bennett, and I think it's Decam. 100%, man. Yo, wasted. Just don't ever get gold-plated chains to turn you into the whole, oh, Brandon Vandal, come on, bro. Listen, man, I don't come from the era where we do anything fake, bro. It's 100% authentic. You know, this the thing. My era, you just don't wear fake gold. You don't front. And they don't future in front, bro. That's the reason why when you see my channel grows the way it does, because I'm not paying for no views. I'm not doing none of that. And I'm not, no disrespect to nobody else. I don't, like, bro, when it comes to this YouTube thing, I don't pay attention to nobody, bro. The only person who I know what they got going on is guys in my crew. I don't pay attention to none of these other guys. And it's no disrespect to them. But at the end of the day, I'm a grown-ass man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man of a certain age. I don't know none of these guys. You know what I'm saying? And it don't really matter to me what they do. God bless them. I want to see everybody winning this Raider thing, bro. I think we got the best group of content creators. That's why guys like Sanjay is a great guy, bro. I love working with Sanjay. A lot of these guys, man, Murph and Swaggy, I love working with them guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no animus or hate for none of these guys, but I'm really more so focused on me and what my team got going on, bro. And we ain't gonna be out here. We not faking. We not paying for no views. It's none of that. It's 100% authentic, yo. 100% authentic. Yo, my guy, S-Dot, with the $10 holler. Who would be your goal running backs with the current guys on the roster to make sure to punch the TD in? Mine would be JJ Pegues at fullback and Laki Tassi at halfback, former rugby giant. It would be Ashton. Ashton Jeanty is a running back by trade. He's a star back. And if he's going to be a star back, you don't take him out and put anybody else in. What I would do is I'd have a jumbo package with JJ Pegues, so one of them guys that can come and be a lead blocker, but it'd be Jeanty. Low center of gravity. People bounce off of him. He's a young star running back. You know, you didn't see the Chargers back in the day taking LT out on goal line. You didn't see the Raiders doing that when we had Marcus Allen. You didn't see the Raiders doing that when we had Bo Jackson. You didn't see the Raiders. You didn't see the Raiders doing that. And we had Latavius Murray. You didn't see the Raiders going to another running back. You know, Run DMC. Maybe you would have Michael Bush from time to time, yeah. But yeah, I'm going with Ashton, man. Until proven otherwise. Yo, my guy, Tyler Dance, I keep forgetting about Stokes too, bro. Shout out to my guy Tesser, man. He said sometimes you gotta fake it till you make. Nah, man, you don't fake it till you make it. What you do is you stay low until you make it. You don't fake it till you ain't no future in front, bro. You don't fake it till you make it, bro. That's the problem, yo. Like, you know, and I don't mean to lecture people about YouTube and all this kind of bullshit, but listen, when you do stuff like, say for instance, you go out and you start a channel, right? And then you go pay for some subscribers, and then you see me, like, I'm a guy, you know, I'm like kind of starting to get to that level in this shit where, like, I'm starting to get up there, right? I'm not where guys like Sanjay and them are because they've been doing it a lot longer than I have been, right? But the way that I'm growing, it looks like, yo, I'll probably be at, 20,000, right? But I got every single one of them because I come on here every day and I work. I do my best. And if you guys receive it, that's a great thing. If you don't, I don't take it in a vacuum and act like I'm the best guy in the world. I can take criticism, right? I read every comment. I really do, right? But you can't come into this ethos where you haven't really done anything. You haven't gone out. You haven't had no interviews. You've done nothing, right? And you come into this game and you pay for, subscribers because it looks good. And then you look at the engagement, and the engagement is not matching the subscribers. Do you know how hard it is to get, the amount of people in the off season? Like you guys right now are tuned in. We got almost 500 people watching us in the off season on a slow news week. That is because you guys are great, and that's because I'm consistent and you guys are consistent. You got to earn that. You don't get that just from looking the part. You get that from actually being the part. And that, people can do whatever they want, bro. I really don't care. But look, man, I refuse to fake it till I make it, bro. Yo, my guy Wasted. What is the gout smack? I don't know. Listen, this is the funny thing. This gout thing has got to stop. I told Chugs when I was over on Mitch and them channel that Chugs has the gout. It was hilarious. Graf thought it was funny. And then he took my joke and commandeered it and tried to place it on my lap. Pause if necessary. He is the Christopher Columbus of joke stealing. He took my joke that was once Hispaniola and Yo, shout out to Graf, man. Yo, my guy, I am Hilltop, man. Real talk. Respect is real for the wasted authenticity. Claiming victory to 15K, but 50K is achievable. Facts, bro. No, that's a fact. It's a fact, man. We're going to get there one day, bro. We're going to get there, bro. You just got to just keep grinding, man. Keep grinding. It's a lot of Raider fans out there. There's a lot of people who haven't heard my voice. There's a lot of people who've never seen my show. There's a lot of people that appreciate content, bro. They appreciate the authenticity. And I'm not breaking who I am for nobody, man. Raider man. What up, bro? Haven't caught you in a minute. Hope everything is good. I think this team has a different order. Yes, it does, bro. Because, yo, attitude reflects leadership. The ownership, just from the top down. You heard Pete Carroll when he was talking to Brock Hewitt. He said that Tom Brady was the reason why he took the Raiders more seriously because he wanted to work with him. The Tom Brady effect is real. So it starts from the top down. You have Mark. Mark picked a person to kind of be a wrangler, to bring people in, to take this organization serious. To take this organization serious. Then you get a serious Hall of Fame worthy head coach like Pete Carroll, who does not have coaching out of his system. And then he comes into the building. And then he brings in John Spytek because Brady and Spytek are Michigan guys. And Spytek is a rock star when it comes to young assistant GMs. One of the guys that was sitting there in the front row waiting to get a GM job, he gets one of these 32 jobs in the league. So now you got a young budding star at GM. You have a legend in the front office who has unlimited football credibility. Then you get a Hall of Fame coach in the building, and you mire that with a guy that's on a Hall of Fame trajectory of Max Crosby on the defensive side of the ball. And then now you have a situation where the Raiders feel different, they look different because you can't fool us, bro. We know, even with Antonio Pierce, our football brains told us that Antonio Pierce was not going to be good. We wanted it to happen. It felt good, but we knew in the back of our mind. I knew it, but I wanted it to work. God damn it, I wanted it to work, man. And it didn't. And when it didn't, no one was surprised. My brother, David Walker, Wasted, you going to the Commanders game? I might go. Dave, tap in with me. I might go. I know the Eagle game is late, too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I might go down there, bro. If you still in Jersey, we'll tap in, Dave. Let me know, brother. Yo, Rorschach Ray, he says, sounds like Graf, joke stealer. Hey, yo, yes, definitely a joke stealer. Effing Graf. My dog, man. Thank you guys for the $2 smackaroonies, man. Looking forward to more offensive creativity. See, you know what the funny thing? Offensive creativity is great, right? But you got to have the guys that execute. You got to have the guys that execute. See, the thing that's different, too, is that the roster is different, right? You have a startable quarterback in the building. We're not saying we got Peyton Manning in the building. You know, I'm not saying that Geno Smith is going to be our quarterback for the next 10 years. What I do know is he is a top 15 guy, right? We haven't had that since Carr left. The top 15 guy, right? Top 15 guys can get you in the playoffs. Top 15 guys that get you in the playoffs. Top 15 guys will get you to the playoffs. Now, will they win a game? Maybe. Will they win a Super Bowl? Most likely not. But will they get you to the big game? See, what I think Geno Smith is going to represent for the Raiders is he's our Alex Smith. Alex Smith was a #1 pick. He was around the league. He got with the Chiefs. He got them into the playoffs. He turned them around. He got them into perennial playoff contenders. And the Chiefs had got to a line of demarcation where they felt like, listen, yo, Alex Smith is great. He has in the playoffs. We even win a playoff game or two. But we're not going to the Super Bowl, Alex Smith. And they drafted Pat Mahomes. They let Pat sit. And then they were off to the races. Now, I think the Raiders had a certain situation that they could have probably done. They could have gotten Shador, and that could have been that situation. But I think that Pete Carroll and me hearing from his interview that he had over there with Brock Hewitt and them, you know, and I want to play some of it. I might do it on my next episode. But what I noticed about Pete Carroll, and I think one of the reasons why he ultimately left the Seahawks is really because of his loyalty and just his loyalty, bro. Like I hear, like he still has a great relationship with Richard Sherman. He still talks to him all the time. Talks to Marshawn. Marshawn shows up now, right? Doug Baldwin and him are still like this. And he was very, very, very loyal to Geno. And I think that's one of the reasons why they didn't bring Shador, because I think he wants to give Geno a clean slate to be the undisputed guy, see how Geno cooks, see if he can get him in the playoffs, and see if he can win with him. But I think before Pete leaves, I think that John Spytek, if he has the chance in his infinite wisdom, will probably go out there and get a guy to groom so that the Raiders don't have a drop-off once the Geno thing is over. And listen, S-Dot, yeah, Kurt Warner won a Super Bowl, but this is the thing with Kurt Warner, bro. Kurt Warner turned out to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. Yeah, did anyone think that was going to happen? No. Trent Green was the guy, right? Kurt Warner was a guy that was, you know, backing up Favre and Mark Brunell and Doug Peterson and all of them when he's with the Packers. They used to call him Pop Warner. But Kurt Warner went through the rigmarole of going through the Arena Football League and NFL Europe, and he made himself into a stud. Yeah, things just click. People, places, and things, right? You know, Kurt Warner's skill set and, you know, Dick Vermeil and Mike Martz and all the weapons that they had, Azakeem and Torrey Hall and Isaac Bruce and Marshall Faulk, bruh, they had a line. I mean, God dog. He had it all, and he was the trigger man. He sat back and he developed into a Hall of Fame guy. Then he left, he went to the Giants. It didn't work out so great because they had Eli Manning there, and he was never, you know, he was there to be a placeholder for Eli, so Eli could do what he had to do, and Eli did, right? And then he left and went to Arizona and got with Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden and that group over there, and he did a hell of a job. And guess what, man? Now he's a Hall of Famer. Listen, Geno may turn into that. We don't know, right? But am I banking on that? No, I'm not. 100% I'm not, S-Dot. And Nick Foles is one of the only guys I can remember in recent memory that won a Super Bowl, right? Now, the thing about Nick Foles is this is the part that you're leaving out, S-Dot, like you always do. Nick Foles got them through the playoffs and he won, but that was Carson Wentz's team. Carson Wentz had them. He only lost one game when he got hurt. They were like 14-1 when Carson Wentz had them. Nick Foles came in. He went on an uncanny run. It is something that we've never seen, man. Even when Haas did it with the Giants, right? But do I know if Nick Foles started week 1, would the Eagles have been 14-1? Would they have even gotten to the Super Bowl? Probably not. And does Geno throw a better deep ball in prime? Carmi is subjective, right? Yo, and that's crazy, McBurger. You got the cover to the book, Behold the Pale Horse, as your avatar, bro. I got a conspiracy. Thank you, sweetheart. Appreciate it, baby. Behold the Pale Horse. We got a tinfoil Kofi guy in here. Yo, y'all got to get y'all a wife like mine. My wife is the best, man. And Haas didn't do the same thing. Phil Simms played that whole season, and Phil Simms got hurt right before the playoffs. Same thing. Like Kurt Warner stepped in early in it, like in the preseason, and took them pillar to post and won, bro. That shit is different. Yeah, man. A line. And bro, look, bro, you will never get any arguments out of me about an offensive line, bro. I know, bro. They try to make football more complicated than it is, bro. 11 on 11. The trenches, both sides. Offensive, defensive, ball control, smash mouth, physical footballs with wins, bro. Thick frames save lives. But when we talk about this Raider football team, in my mind of minds, we have to get back to a level of respectability. We got to build the roster, right? I am perfectly okay with the Raiders building this roster, keeping Geno. Geno's a middle of the road, price-wise guy. Just outfitting this roster tremendously, right? Kind of going the 49er route. They went roster and not quarterback. They had Jimmy Garoppolo as their starting quarterback. And then they tried to do the Patrick Mahomes thing, but they swung wrong. They got the wrong quarterback, right? They got a guy from North Dakota State who didn't play a whole lot of football. And bro, listen, we could talk about, Plunkett taking over for Pastorini and never looking back, but Plunkett's a guy who won 2 Super Bowls. Plunkett is a guy who did that over 40 years ago. I'm talking about within the last 15 years, bro. Football is the way you win in today's football is totally different. Back in the day, you could have a running back power you to the Super Bowl. 100%. That's mostly how you won. Dynamic quarterbacks, a lot of time, guys that threw the ball all over the field didn't win Super Bowls. If we're being honest. Joe, they threw it all over the place. The West Coast offense kind of opened football up, right? But before that, you had Jim McMahon win a Super Bowl with a great defense, historic defense, right? And you had a historically great running back, one of the 3 or 4 best backs in the history of this league. You look at Phil Simms' New York Giants. Phil Simms was no world beat. He was a tough son of a bitch. But then you got guys like Marino who didn't win a Super Bowl. He got there, but he never got back again. Right? So when you start talking about, the Redskins back in the day, Mark Rippon had one good year, but they had a tremendous running back, Ernest Biner and Ricky Irvins. Great running back. Right? If you talk about, Jay Schrader and then Jay Schrader getting hurt and Doug Williams coming in and beating a great quarterback in John Elway. Like we can go here, man. I can go back to the 80s on you, bro. I can go back to the 80s on you very, very easily. This is the thing. This is a different game now. It's a different game now. Quarterbacks, in the way this league is constructed, quarterbacks are the straw that stirs the drink. They are. They are because the rules are constructed for them to be successful. The rules are constructed for quarterbacks to really dominate the game. Back in the day, if you had a great quarterback, not only did that guy have to be great, but he had to be able to withstand getting hit and keep getting up and keep coming forward. You had some quarterbacks that were damn good quarterbacks, guys like Jim Everett. Jim Everett was a damn good quarterback. Jim Everett, he used to get hit, bro, and shit get a little different. Shit get a little different. My guy S-Dot, man. Can somebody tell me how the coaches can see Tassie in rugby as an offensive lineman, but can't see that in the draft? Charles Grant is a bust. Get the F up out of here. You don't know that. How the F are you going to say he's a bust and he hasn't even played one snap for us, S. Dot? Yeah, in baseball he is. He was the straw that stirred the drink. You damn right, Lord Buddy Bear. We talk about Ernest Givens for what? Ernest Givens and Haywood Jeffries from the Houston Oilers. I'm talking about Ricky Irvins and Ernest Biner. You talking about Ernest Biner and Ricky Irvins, bro? That's what we talking about. The F up out of here. Yeah, S. Dot, you tripping, bro. Nasty, nasty work, man. You were tripping. Yo, Piano Man, stop calling people busters in my chat, bro. My guy, Frank, I'm back. I'm back. I was listening in heavy traffic. Wasted his cooking. Frank Jamili, I appreciate you, my brother. Piano Man, are you telling me to get the F up out of here? Are you, Piano Man, are you telling Wasted Talent on Raider Nation Unlimited for me to get the F off of my own show? You a bad man, Piano Man. You a Charger fan at that, and you're telling me to get the F up out of here? Are you effing? Wow! You effing serious? I was about to say, you about to get unceremoniously or ceremoniously blocked. I mean, under the bus you go. He said, order in the court. It wasn't me, Shaggy. All right, man. You would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you pesky kids. Solomon, Piano Man is always stirring shit up. Yes, man, listen, bro. Look, every time there was trolls when I first got into this. There was a guy that everybody was, oh, he's the worst. And I would let him stay in the chat until he got disrespectful and he got unceremoniously blocked. He got sent to the shadow realm. We'll let Piano Man hang around a little longer. He is a fan of the great and powerful Wasted, and we will allow him to stay. S, I know you do your homework. I know Charles Grant. I understand. When I look at Charles Grant, I see DeBrickashaw Ferguson. That's what I see. He's a guy that needs to get a little, like he has the frame. He got to get a little bit more muscle. But S, give these guys a chance. Maybe he lines up with the way they do business, bro. You dogging the fucking kid. He hasn't done anything yet, S. Dot. Come the F on. Now, I like that. Listen, S. Dot, you normally cook, and I want to let you. Oh, S. Dot, I want to let you cook. Now, look, Charles Grant is Leatherwood. Bro, how could he be Alex Leatherwood reincarnated? And Alex Leatherwood was a first-round pick. What the F are you like, S. Dot? You know you my dog. Love you like cook food, bro. My dog. But come on, S. Dot. You comparing him to Alex Pleatherwood? Alex effing Pleatherwood? S. Dot, you tell me what the big problem with Charles Grant is that you saw in his tape, and you haven't seen him take a snap in the National Football League, and you can arbitrarily just say that he's a bum. You tell me. Alex Leatherwood was a high pick. Comparing him to Alex Pleatherwood, the country thick wonder. Leaky T, that shit is definitely not leather, yo. Definitely not leather. S-Dot, do me a favor. Tell the chat, come to the front of the congregation, S-Dot. S-Dot has come to the front of the congregation, y'all. Here we go. Charles Grant bench pressed 19 times 225. The bull rush against him is horrendous. I get it. Tropical Remy, you're about to be unceremoniously blocked. No, we didn't say that. We said country thick. That was how they described him in his scouting report. And Raider Scout was reading it, and it was freaking hilarious. Get the F up out of here, man. For the best content on YouTube, Raider Nation Unlimited. Yo, y'all do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, man. All right, y'all. Time to pull a train back into the train station. Yo, Bodega Wasted, shut the F up. I'm still cooking here. I'm cooking here, man. I'm going on shit, man. It's 8:30, guy. I got to get off the air. The chat is wilding today, man. We got 430 people in the room. It's normally more than this, but it's okay. Everybody on Twitter, shout out to everybody on Twitter who's watching me. Anybody can hear my voice, shout out to all of you. Yo, I appreciate you guys for pulling up. We almost had 2 hours. I haven't gone 2 hours in a long time, man. Guys, let me ask y'all a question. Do you guys want more show? Or do you think it's time to pull the train into the train? Ben Bad, you are the inaugural member of the Get Off My Lawn gang. Already subscribed. What do you get? You get a swift kick in the face like Shawn Michaels. You get super kicked in the face like Shawn Michaels, Ben Bad. That's what you get. You get nothing. Like, nah, shout out to my guy, Ben Bad, bro. It's my dog, man. Yo, S-Dot, it makes no sense to pick a person that high only to wait 4 years later to develop. What the, bro? Dog, what are you talking about? Charles Grant? More shows, 100%. That's right. Wait, is there more to talk about tonight? Not really. If I could hit that button 1,000 times, I would. Wait, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, bro. Leaky T, you about to get blocked. Sweet Chin Music, you already know that. Listen, you know, you know what you're going to get. This is what you get, Ben Bad. This is exactly what you get. Ben Bad, I'm starting to suspect some things here, Ben Bad. Talking about what the F do I get? Shit. It's freaking Ben Bad over here talking. The F is going on here, Ben Bad. Talking about what do I get?
Glizzy eater. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta chill, Ben Bad. You gotta chill. Hold on.
Glizzy eater.
You gotta stop. You gotta stop. I love the arguments only on Wasted Talent Live. Yeah, me too, yo. Give a bodega chopped cheese and go get him the F up out of here. That's right. You get a chopped cheese, Ben Bad. Get a chopped cheese, a grape CNC, and a bag of Dipsy Doodles. Maybe a cup of noodle. That's right. I know you said, I said it an hour ago, and I'm going to reiterate exactly what you are, Ben Bad.
Glizzy eater.
That's right. That's right. I know Wasted going to the game versus Washington this season. Oh, come on, bro. You know. Yo, he said, go Pacers. Come on, elevated minds. The F up out of here. Go Knicks. Yeah, I said I got a T-Move soundboard. Dan T, you got a T-Move beard. What you doing up here, man? Look like you killed a raccoon and glued it to your face, Dan Tesser. Boy, up here looking like the smooth looking like a damn face looking like shoe leather. Talking that crap, Tesser. You old goat. The F up out of here with your crap. My God, wasted. Prayers from everyone that came through for my mom. My mom is home from the hospital and doing amazing. I appreciate y'all so much. Harry from Michigan, salute to your moms. God bless her, man. Thank you, bro, for letting us know the update on your moms, bro. God bless her, bro. I'm so glad she's home, man. Salute, bro. Salute, man. Salute, man. My man Tesser, man, looking like a dusty ass Muppet. That's definitely glad to hear, man. I'm glad to hear that. But guys, look, man, we had an hour and 50 minutes, man. We going crazy up here. We're sick and silly. I think it's time to roll the train back into the train tracks, man. It's no better way to end the show than to hear that Harry from Michigan's mom is okay, man. Salute to Harry from Michigan and his mom, yo. Salute. God bless her, man. Shout out to my guy, Dan Tesser. He says, it's Mr. O, go to you. Shout out to my dog, Tesser, man. Hey, guys, the train is going into the train station. You know, I want Bodega Wasted to know that he is cruising for a permanent banning from this channel. He is cruising from a permanent ban from this channel. A hardcore ban is what the F is going on here. You got to watch yourself, man, because you will be unceremoniously blocked. It's effing right, man. It's effing right, man. And listen, guys, I want you guys to know something, man. I appreciate everything you guys do. I appreciate every comment, every super, every view, every like, every dislike. Appreciate you guys, man. Love all of y'all, man. Thank you, guys. I think this week, man, we got to be a little more active. I'm gonna be more active this week. No matter if there's something to talk about or not, we're gonna be here for you, rocking it out every night. Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. Shout out to everybody that's in here, man. Salute to all of y'all. Salute to my guy Harry from Michigan, man. Salute to my guy S. Dot. Salute to my guy Bodega Wasted, who is actually Anthony. He has no one fooled. Salute to Laney B. Salute to Balboa, Frank Jarmilio. And yo, Bodega could be Jenny too. It could be Jenny too. Salute to Charles Grant. I like Charles Grant. Salute to James Williams. And I'm going to be honest with you. James Williams definitely farted. 100%. Look at that face. You know, this is a man who secretly blew a silencer in the elevator, crop dust the elevator, and walks off. That is the smile of a man who farted in the elevator and walked off. 100%. My guy, Solly, man. All love, man. But guys, look, man. Salute to all of y'all, man. Y'all have a terrific night. I am going to go tap in with my wife, tap in with the kids. You know, these are the last days of my family. Like, not the last days, but my daughter is about to go away to college. So I like to go upstairs every night and just hang out with her because that's my oldest child. And she is, you know, she's the glue. My oldest daughter, she is definitely the glue of the family. She's the glue. And she's going away to college. And I am freaked out. I'm mortified by that. But I'm proud as hell of her too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go hang out with my daughter because she just got in from work. And, you know, you guys have a freaking great and powerful night, man. We are up out of here, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. And Lord Buddy Bear, you are a crop dusting bandit yourself, man. But you guys have a great, great night, man. I'm out of here, man. Y'all stay blessed, man. And I'll see you guys and go Knicks, man. And if you guys come with your Knicks slander, I'm telling you right now, man, the price is going to be paid and it will not be like yesterday.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Through the damn roof, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. Peace.